Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and I hope you guys are doing a good job. So today's topic is default routing, right? So as you know that we have already done the static routing, and in the dynamic routing we have seen that RIP version 1 and RIP version 2, and I have also uploaded one video on EIGRP also. And today we are just going to talk about this default routing. Okay, so when we talk about this default routing, basically this default routing is basically used for unknown destinations. So let me just open my packet tracer so that I will be able to show you in a practical way, and it would be more convenient for you to understand the concept. So let it open first, then we will start our discussion. So to complete this practical, I am just going to take three routers here: router 1, router 2 and router 3. So let me just align it properly so that it will look good, right? So let me just take the switch also for each and every network, because we are just going to create the network also to understand the concept of this default routing. Now I'm just going to make use of this automatic cable to make the connection between the router and the switch. So I'm just making the connection, and I just want to tell you one more thing, that you can do it by pressing the control button, then you can do it that way. You need not to select the cable again and again, but I'm just doing it so that you guys can understand from where I'm just picking up the cable. So I'm just making the connection. So the cable is not getting connected here, so let me just see whether we have the port in this router or not. If the port is not there, then we will add it. Yeah, as you can see, this there is no module in this device. So I'll just show you how you can add the module. You just need to double click on the router, and from here you can take the module. As you can see, these are the modules we have. So I'm going to just drag and drop. 1 second. So as you can see, this what message we are getting here is cannot add a module when the power is on. As you can see, this particular router is in the on state. So before adding any module, you need to switch it off. So how you can switch it off? As you can see, this green color light indicates that this device is in the on state. So we can just click it. So now this is in the off state. So I will just add this module, and I will just add this. I'll add this SFP if it is not it is asking for this SFP also, then I will show you. So module has been added, so I will just reboot the router. So router is on, and I'll try connecting the cable now, and then we will see if we are getting the same error message or not. Yes, we are getting the same error message. So in this case we have to add the SFP also. So I'll take this SFP. So before adding the SFP, I'll switch it off, and I'll take the SFP. This is added. Let me just switch it on, and now we will try to do the same thing now. It is not going with this automatic cable. So what we will do, we will try to take one other cable. So I'll just try to take this serial cable for the connection. No. I got it. basically every router is having only 2 ports, guys. So what we have to do, we'll have, because as all these ports are have been used here for this interface and for this interface, so what we need to do, we just need to like off this router also, and we'll have to add this module here. So I'll add this here, right? This is added. I will switch it on and I will try connecting this again, and I hope it should be fine now. See this? Now we could add this. So this was a troubleshooting step for you guys, because if you are going to do the same activity, then you just need to follow the same trick. So because as you know that like every router is having only 2 ports as a default, so if you are going to connect 3 routers, so what you have to do, first of all you just have to go to the router, just switch it off and just click on the modules. You can read about the modules by clicking on it like this. As you can see this, it is giving you the detail in the bottom also. So these are the different modules we have. So what you can do is like you can connect with this NM2E 2W. So as you can read this module provides 2 Ethernet ports, right? So by adding this port into your router, so you are getting 2 more ports, right, that can be used. So the same thing I have done it here, right? Now what we have to do, basically what I'm going to do, we are just going to assume that these are our branch office routers. So let me just make it a note here. This is my branch office, and this is going to be my head office, the center one. Let me just align it properly. This is my head office, and this I'm going to treat it as the ISP network. This I'm going to take it as Airtel Delhi, right? So guys, what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to add any devices here, I have just added a device which I'm just going to remove it now. I don't need this, basically. Sorry, I'm going to remove this one. Sorry, I don't need this network, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete this cable first. So if you want to delete any cable, then what you can do is like you can just click on this cross button and then click on the cable. So the connection is deleted. Now I will delete this switch also. Okay, now we have the only routers here. So today we are just going to see the concept of loopback to understand it as an internet perspective, right? So assume that this is the ISP router, or I'll make it as Airtel Delhi ISP router. So we will talk about this later. So first of all, we will configure our network, and then we will check the communication between our internal network. So here I'm just going to take the end devices. Let me just take PC1 and PC2. Here I am going to take my laptops, and let me just make the connection. So I will just connect this. Same thing I am going to do for this network, like this. So we have successfully made the connections. Now we have to choose like which IP we have to use. So here let's take an example that we are just going to take the IP of 172.16.0.0 network /16, and this side I'm going to make use of 1.0, right? So here I'm just going to assign the IP address as 172.16.0.1, and in this machine I'm going to take it as 172.16.0.0. 3. I have taken 2 here, 3 here, because I am going to assign 172.16.0.1 at my router level, right? Because this is just the this series IP we are just going to use. This is the network ID, and we call it as the house of IP 172.16.0.0. Because we cannot use this IP, because this indicates the house of this network, right? So here we are just going to give the IP addresses as 172.16.1.2, and here I am going to take it as 3. Right? I hope this is clear to all of you. And we also have to take one IP to my branch office and the head office to just do the connectivity. So let us just take, let's say we are using the IP series as 2.0.0.1, and the other end I am just going to take it as 2.0.0.2. Right? So this is our topology, and we also have to assign the IP address of our head office on ETH1/0. So I'm just going to take it as, let's say, 5.0.0.1, and other side I'm going to take it as 5.0.0.2. This is 5.0.0, and this is my 2. So guys, I hope the topology is clear to you. Now we will start doing our practical. First of all, what we are going to do, we are just going to make the connection between our head office and the branch office. And as far as the routing is concerned, we are going to make use of the static routing in this case, and later on, once we are able to communicate from our branch office to head office and head office to branch office, then we are just going to configure this default routing towards the Airtel Delhi ISP router, right? So that once we will try to ping google.com or let's say outlook.com or gmail.com or any other site, so our ISP router is going to handle those requests. Okay, so let me just assign the IP address to my device first. So 172.16.0.2, and we have to put the gateway also. So we have successfully assigned the IP address of one of my device. So let me just go to the another device, and here I am just going to take the IP address as 3, and the gateway for this would be 172.16.0.1, that we are just going to assign it to my router. Now let me just go to the router, and in the I'll go to the CLI. Let me just minimize this, 1 second. I will enable this, and from now onwards we will be writing the command, all the commands in the notepad for the better understanding for you guys. Configure terminal, host name, branch office, interface FA 0/0, IP address 172.16.0.1, 255.255.0.0, no shut. Then now I am going to assign the IP address for my other interface, interface FA0/1 IP address 2.0.0.1 255.0.0.0. So guys, as you can see this in my FA0/0 port, I am just using this class B address, and on the FA0/1 I am just going to make use of class A address, that is 2.0.0.1, right? So let me just make it no shut. So this configuration is done, right? So let me just copy this and paste it in the router, and you will see that the devices will be in the upstate. But you just need to remember one thing, is that there should not be any error here. As you can see this guys, it is trying to change the host name as branch office. It is going into the interface FA0/0, then it is assigning the IP address to my interface, and it is going to make the port up. Same thing it is going to do for the other port or other interface. It is assigning the IP address here and no shut, and that is in the running state. So if I show you in the router, so as you can see this, on my FA0/0 we have assigned the IP address as 172.16.0.1, and in the other side we have successfully assigned the IP address as 2.0.0.1. So my first interface 0/0 is showing in the upstate, but my other interface, which is on FA0/1, is not showing in the upstate because the other side is still down. So once we configure the other router, then it is going to show you in the upstate, that I will show you. So let me just save the configuration. So my configuration is saved with the help of this do write command. So let me just close this. This configuration was for this branch office. So we can copy the configuration and we will paste it here, and we will make it as head office. So this is the easiest way of doing the configuration. So as you can see this, on my head office we are having three interfaces. One is FA0/1, where we have this IP address 2.0.0.2. We have one more interface FA0/0, where we are using this 172.16.1.0 network, and we have one more interface which is going towards my ISP side, which is on ETH1/0, right? So we have to assign the IP address on each and every interface. So we are just going to do the same command with the help of we are going to make use of the notepad only, like to configure the commands, right? So configure terminal host name, here we are just going to use head office. So on my interface FA0/0, I am just going to make it as 172.16.1.0 1.1, because we are just going to assign the IP address to my router, so it cannot be 0, so we are taking it as 1, because that is going to act as a gateway for my end devices, right? So let me just go to my other interface FA0/1, that is 2.0.0.2. so I'll make it 2, and the subnet would be the same because it's a class A address, no shut. Here we have to add one more IP address for my another interface, that is ETH1/0, right? And here we have to assign the IP address as 5.0.0.1. subnet would be the same. So let me just copy the configuration and then we will see. Let me just go to this head office. I'll come to the CLI. So this device is in the off state, so I will switch it on. Then again I will open this. I'll go to the CLI. So as you can see, this device is still booting. So let it boot. So it has booted successfully. So I will say no. I will enable it. and I'll simply paste the command. So as you can see this, our command has been configured successfully. It has set the host name as head office, and it has set the IP address for my FA0/0 also, FA0/1 also, and ETH1/0 also. So let me show you. So guys, as you can see this, do show IP interface brief. We are just going to make use of this command to show the interfaces, right? So whatever interfaces we have, we can check these interfaces with the help of this command. So we have one more interface left, which is Ethernet 1/1, because as I told you that we have added one module which was having 2 ports. So one port is still empty, which we can make use of, right? So as you can see this, on my FA0/0, I am having this this particular network, and my 0/1 I am having this network, as you can see this, and my Ethernet 1/0 I am using this address, this one. So our IP address has been assigned, and both these devices are in the upstate. This is in the downstate because we have not yet configured that router. So once the router is configured, then it would also come in the upstate. So let me just save the configuration with the help of this to write command, and let me just close it. Now I have to come to my Airtel router. Here we have to configure the command. We have to configure this router also. So guys, if you are getting such kind of error translating name, then what you can do is you can press Ctrl Shift and 6, right? So it is going to take back to you the user mode, right? So I'm just going to put it here, and I will enable it, and we are just going to configure the command also. So we are going to similarly we are going to make use of this notepad to write the command Airtel ISP router. So let me just put it on my left so that it would be very visible to you, right? So on Airtel ISP router we are having one interface called FA0/1. So configure terminal, host name Airtel ISP router, right? Interface FA0/1, IP address 5.0.0.255.255.0.0.0, because this is class A address. So for the class A we have the subnet mask as /8 255.0.0.0. No shut. So let me just copy this configuration on my router. Let me just paste it. So guys, but you have to make sure that all commands should run successfully, right? So this command also ran successfully, as you can see this. Do show IP interface brief. This is the command which helps you to see the see all the interfaces. So as you can see this, on FA0/1 the IP address 5.0.0.2 has been successfully assigned, right? So let me just save the configuration. So configuration is also saved. Now what we will try to do, first of all we will try to ping our routers, whether we are able to ping, whether we are able to do the connectivity between our routers. So what I am going to do, I am just going to ping from here to here. So let me just ping it. .0.0.2. So guys, as you can see this, we are successfully able to ping it. So the connection has been established between our routers. Now what we need to do, because we are talking about two different network here, so what we have to do, we have to do the static routing. So we are just going to perform the static routing between like head office and the branch office. So I am just going to my branch office router and I am just going to add this route for my head office. So but before executing the command, I would like to show you the show IP route. Right. So as you can see this, we are not having any route. We don't have any routing table. It is only showing you the route related to the directly connected devices. Right. If you see on the branch office, we are having two network, 172.16.0.0, and at the other side we have 2.0.0.1, 2.0.0.0, because we are talking about the network, we are not talking about the IP. So apart from that, we are not having the information about 172.16.1.0. So that entry is not here. So this is only having the entry related to 0.1, but we are talking about this particular network 172.16.1.0. so that entry is not available. So here we are just going to do the IP routing, IP route. This is how we do the IP routing. And here what we are going to do, 172, we are just going to tell about that particular network, 1.0, 255.255.0.0, right, and from where it is going to get that information, right. So it is going to request this particular IP for this thing. One second. So basically we are just going to configure our branch office, right. So for my branch office, what is going to happen here is like interface, we'll have to type the we'll have to make use of this interface FA 0/1, right. One second, guys. IP route 172.16.1.0, and from where it is going to get that information. IP route 172.16.1.0 2.0.0.2. One second. Guys, please hold for a second. So guys, we are just going to assign the route here, IP route, and we are talking about this particular network 172.16.1.0, right, 255.255.0.0 and 2.0.0.2 inconsistent address and mask. Okay, I just need to see, let me just check and then I'll just tell you. So guys, we need to troubleshoot this thing. So as you can see this, it is giving me inconsistent mask error. So we will investigate together so that you guys will be able to understand inconsistent address and mask. So what we are going to do, we are just going to check whether we have given the correct subnet mask on my head office or not. There may be some possibility that mask has been wrongly configured on this interface, so that we are going to see together. Okay, do show IP interface brief. One dot 1.1. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just try to put the IP address on my interface again, and then we will see. Interface FA0/0 IP address 172.16.1.1 255.255.0.0. no shut. And interface FA0/1 IP address 2.0.0.2 255.0.0.0. Now what we will do, we will try to configure the route for my zero network. IP route 172.16.0.0 255.255.0.0, and it is going to request 2.0.0.1. So guys, as you can see, this command has been configured successfully, but earlier it was giving me error on the branch router. So there might be some issue related to the subnet mask. We might have put the wrong subnet mask. That might be the issue. So route has been added. So we will just see. So as you can see, this route has been added. Okay, this is configured 172.16.0.0. so this is aware about this particular network. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are just going to configure this also. We are going to run the same command in my branch office also. We are just going to add the route. Let me just minimize the screen, and I'll just perform the same command which we have used on my head office in IP route 172.16.1.0 255.255.0.0 and 2.0.0.2. guys, it is still giving me the inconsistent mask, right? So that we just need to figure it out. There is definitely some issue we have configured like incorrectly, so that I need to check. One second. So what we can do is, I'll just go to this running config. We are just going to check one by one. We will see. This is correct. So we are on router 1, and we are able to see that one route we have already added, that we need to investigate 2.0.0.1. So that is incorrect. It has to be 2.0.0.2. So that is the mistake. You see this? So what I'll do, no IP route. 1 second. Let me just go to the branch office. Do show running config. I'm on my branch office. So for this interface, I have assigned the IP address as 172.16.0.1 and the subnet mask. Okay, this is all correct. Okay, I am not able to find any issue here, but still I'll try to configure the same again. IP route, and the address is 172.16.1.0 255.255.0.0 and 2.0.0.2. inconsistent address and mask. Okay, so we are just going to see it, what exactly the issue is. So I hope you guys are enjoying, because this is how we are just going to troubleshoot the network. So you guys are getting an opportunity to troubleshoot the network like this, right? So I'll have to investigate this now. Inconsistent subnet mask. Okay. Okay, no problem. Let me just come to my head office. Here I am able to see one issue which is showing me as here. Can you see this? So it is showing me both the IP addresses here, right? So what I'll do, just stay with me. I'm just going to delete the IP addresses, and then I will reconfigure the IP address in this device, and then we will check. So first of all, we will start with FA0/0 interface FA0/0 no IP address, right? Interface do show IP interface brief. Now this has been removed, and similarly I'm just going to do it for the other also. Interface FA0/1 no IP address. Okay, do show IP interface brief. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make this interface FA0/1 2.0.0. Sorry, IP address 2.0.0.2 255.0.0.0. no shut. Interface FA 0/0 IP address 172.16.1.1 255.0.255.255.0.0 no shut. Okay, do show IP interface brief. So the IP addresses has been assigned successfully and the devices are in the upstate also. So let me just ping 2.0.0.1. so we are able to ping it successfully. So let me just add the root once again, and then we will see if it is giving me the same error message or not. IP route 172.16.1.0, right, 255.255.0.0 and 2.0.0.2. So it is still giving me that error. Okay, what is the issue? Where we just need to figure it out. 1 second. So it has nothing to do with this, but root should be here. Let me just check it out. What could be the issue? So guys, now we are stuck into the troubleshooting. Now we have to investigate what is the issue. Do show IP interface brief. Okay, 172.16.0.1 has been assigned to my router. Okay, this is my branch office. Do show IP route. So it is not showing me any route for this 172.16.1.0. Okay, yeah guys, I got it. I got one mistake. I got it. I will just try to do it now. One IP route 172.16. Basically what we have to do, I got this, because routers are meant for different network, so it is going to be the same network, because when we are taking this /16 value, so it is going to match this value only, and then it is going to transfer the value, right? So what I am going to do, I am just going to take a different IP address here, and then we will check, because it is going to be the same subnet, because in class B we are having /16, right? So this is going to be /60 only, because when the router is going to communicate, it is going to check only first 2 octets. this one 172.16, 172.16. So guys, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a different network here. Let's say 192.168.1.0. so this is my network here. So let me just put the IP address for this network. Interface FA0/0, no IP address, IP interface. So this address has been removed. Interface FA0/0, IP address 192.168.1.0, 255.255.255.0. Once again, IP address we are going to assign the IP address, not the house of IP. This IP address I am going to assign, and no shut, do show IP interface brief. So this has been assigned. So what we are going to do, we are just going to configure this root here, and then we will check. Now it should not give any inconsistent mask error. IP route 192.168.1.0, 255.255.255.0 and 2.0.0.2. You see this, guys? Now it is not giving me any inconsistent mask. So it was giving me the inconsistent mask because of the same network. Now let me just show you. Right, so guys, you can see this root has been added static root via 2.0.0.2. right, same thing we are just going to check in my first router also, head office router also, I mean to say. Do show IP route. So as you can see this, we also have the static root for this 16 network via 2.0.0.1. right. So guys, if we will try to ping from here to here, then we will be able to communicate it, right. Let me just show you. Let me just assign the IP address to my device first. Sorry, here it would be 192, because we have changed the network 192.168.1.2, and this is going to be 1.3. right. So let me just assign the IP address 192.168.1.2, and the subnet mask for this would be 192.168.1.1. So I hope you guys are enjoying, because you have seen the troubleshooting, because unless and until we are not getting stuck, then we cannot learn it. And I hope you guys must have enjoyed this video today. So all my videos would be like this only, because I am not preparing anything in advance, and whatever I am doing it, I am doing in front of you guys only. So IP address I have already assigned to my devices. So this device is also configured. Now what we are going to do, we are just going to check the communication between my this network to this network, whether we are able to ping it or not. So I will just ping it 172.16.0.2. so it might be doing the R process. So let's wait, and then we will check. So guys, as you can see this, we are successfully able to communicate our network. It's pinging, and we are just going to ping from here to this particular IP also, so that we will be sure that we are able to communicate both the way. So we are on 172.16.0.2 as you can see this, and we are just going to ping 192.168.1.3. So this is also pinging, right? So guys, now we are just going to do this default routing concept. Now what we are going to do, to assume that like we are having 2-3 different networks here, one is for Google, one is for like Outlook, one is for like Gmail. So what we are going to do, we are just going to create the loopbacks here, right? Loopbacks are basically virtual interfaces, right, where we can create the interface virtually just to check the connectivity, and we can also assign the IP addresses also. Enable it, configure terminal, and I'm just going to create loopback. One second. Interface loopback interface 1. We have created one loopback, and let me just assign the IP address. Basically guys, there is a range, like when we talk about the range of the loopback, so loopback range starting from 1, and there is a huge number, right? And you can have n number of loopback interfaces on your device. So I'm just going to take this IP address as 8.8.8.8, right? And the subnet mask is, right? And we can put the description also. Right, interface loopback. Now I'm going to take 2 IP address, let's say 12.1.1.1, and the subnet mask would be, right, gmail.com. right? First one we have taken it as google.com. So let me just make it a note, 8.8.8.8 for the like Google. So here are our virtual interfaces. These are called loopbacks. Eight dot eight dot eight dot eight, that is for Google. 12.1.1.1 for Gmail. Right? So loopbacks are created at the router side. If I show you the interface, so as you can see this, we have created two loopbacks, loopback 1 and loopback 2, and we have assigned the IP address to my loopback also, right? So if I'll try to ping my loopback from my Airtel router, then it will respond to you, like it will communicate. Like I'll just show you. Ping 8.8.8.8. do ping 8.8.8.8. So guys, as you can see this, it's successfully pinging. Success rate is 100%. But I just want to show you one thing here is that, like, if I'll try to ping my google.com, because we are just going to use these loopback interfaces just for the testing purpose, because in the packet tracer it is not possible to get the internet, right? So we can only assume it, like we are assuming that this Airtel router is having these routes, right? And if we are able to ping from my 172 network or 192 network to this particular loopback, then it states that like we could successfully do the default routing towards the ISP network, right? So now up till now we have not configured this default routing, so I will try to ping this particular IP address, and it is not going to ping from here. So I'm just going to ping it. So it is not going to ping it because we have not set the route yet. See this, it is saying destination host unreachable. So we get this message when the router is not having the information about that particular network, right? So what we are going to do, we are just going to do the default routing here. IP route, right? Let me just put it here. IP route 0.0.0.0. This particular command means that any network space 0.0.0.0 any subnet, right? And as you can see, this gateway of last resort is not set. So once we will put this address, so the gateway of last resort will be set. So we are sitting on this branch office. So gateway of the last resort would be for this router would be this address, this interface address. So I'll say 2.0.0.2. So if I run the same command now, so as you can see this, the gateway of last resort is set to this for any network, like whether it is gmail.com, google.com, yahoo.com, facebook.com, and any other website you may think of. So we have set the gateway of last resort. Now we are just going to do the default routing here also. IP route, right? And same thing we are going to do it here also. Any network, this 40, these 40 states that any network, first 40, any network, any subnet. And what would be the gateway of last resort? In this case, the gateway of last resort would be this. Like if we want to communicate to google.com, so we have to send the request to this interface, and this interface is going to take care of all the information which is available in this ISP router. So here I am just going to take it as 5.0.0.2. So this is also set. Do show IP route. So let me just show you. In this router also, gateway of last resort is also set, and whatever request we have to do, so this will be handled by this ISP router on this interface, right? So now we also have to do one more thing, because once we will try to ping to this address, and then it should have the address for that network also. But as of now, this, because we are treating it as the ISP network, so this ISP network is not having the route about our network. So basically in the real scenario, we do it through netting, network address translation. But to just accomplish our practical, I'm just going to set the I'm just going to do the static routing for my internal network. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going here, and here I'm just going to say IP route 172.16.0.0 255.255.0.0, and the request will go to 5.0.0.1, this interface 5.0.0.1. I am going to add one more root for my 192.168.1.0 255.255.0 255.0 and 5.0.0.1. So if I show you, so we are having all the routes. So this router is having information about this particular route also. So what we are going to do, I am just going to ping my 8888 from my this PC. If we are able to ping it, it means default route has been successfully configured. So guys, you can see this, we are successfully able to ping our network. Let me just ping the other one also. We are able to ping this address also. Let me just show you from this network also. PING 8.8.8.8. So we are able to ping it from here also. So this was all about this default routing. So guys, as I told you in the beginning, we are only going to use this default routing for unknown destinations only. Okay, so I hope you guys must have enjoyed this today's video, because we have done so much of troubleshooting, and because being a tech, I know that like doing the troubleshooting is it's very like enjoying for me, because I know that like when we stuck in any of the issue, and if we are able to fix it, then it gives us more pleasure. And for you guys like who are new to this CCNA thing, that would be very helpful for you. So thank you for watching my video, and if you guys like my video, then I would request you to please put down some valuable comment and like my video, and if you can share it, then share it. Thank you for watching my video once again, and good night, bye bye, take care, thank you.